As we see companies moving more and more into Serbia, a lot of companies are asking what is the actual cost of the reduction in our business when we move our business to Serbia. Today, I have invited my awesome colleague Biljana from Belgrade. Some of you have been working with her. Some of you will be working with her in the near future. Biljana, thanks for joining me today on this video.
Thank you for the invitation.
Of course.
So I will be glad to explain to people why the Serbia is a very good place to move their companies.
Yes, absolutely. And she's been very helpful in multiple things in Serbia here. She's been doing this for quite a long time, well before we even established. So there are some things in when it comes to corporate services that she's a lot more knowledgeable in than I am, and I do learn a lot from her as well. So what we're seeing is that a lot of these businesses are coming into Serbia here and seeing averages anywhere between 30 and 55% in reductions. And one of the things I want to ask you, Bilya, is why is this big drop in Serbia, and what do you see when it comes to the burden on payroll?
There is so many points that are related with drop that are explain why the drop is the big. But when we're talking about the payroll, then we can say that employer payroll burden is the modest. So employer social contributions are about 15.50 percentages that are related 10% pension, 5.15% related with health insurance, and unemployment is zero when we're talking about employer side. Personally, income tax on salaries is 10% after a non-taxable allowance. So that is the most important part related with payroll. Also, we can talk about the salaries that are more than 3,000 euro. We have some incentives related with that salaries. We have some range, and after when the salary is more than 3,000 euro, then companies can save on pension and insurance, and they are paying just 10% of tax.
And when it comes to when it comes to employment tax or income tax for employees, that's a flat rate tax, if I understand everything, right?
Yes, yes, you
Yeah.
understand.
So that's a huge difference that many individuals don't see from other countries, is that Serbia's income tax is 10% flat rate tax. And so unlike Canada, US, and other countries in Western Europe, you're on a tiered income tax plan. So the more you're making, the more you're taxed. We're here in Serbia, if you're making 1,000 euros or 5,000 euros, you're still going to be at that 10% income tax rate. So that's more money in your pocket. And at the same time, the employer's contributions isn't going up as they're making more money as well. So that really helps with them cutting the burn rate here. Now, when it comes to corporate tax, I know I've touched on this on a couple of videos, but let's delegate into what the corporate tax is, what is the VAT system, and how can people also reduce that VAT percentage?
Well, when we're talking about corporate tax, then we can say that Serbia is one of the lowest percentages. So here, 15% is the corporate income tax. So when you compare with other countries in Europe, it's really lowest tax, we can say. So when we're talking about VAT system, the regular VAT is 20%, and also we have a rate about 10% on some reduced rate. And usually it's related with some essential products like bread, sugar, milk, oil, then also hotel accommodation, some products related with medical, and usually medicine that are related to research. That's about to reduce tax.
So people that can reduce it can even be not only in the essential items such as bread and oil, but also in hotels and
Hotel,
medical
medical
systems, things
system.
of that nature as well. So those are very good points that if you're looking to set up those types of businesses here in Serbia, you don't have to just stick to bread and oil. There are other avenues, and I know you and I have actually been in contact with a couple of individuals who are actually looking to set up, you know, uh, apartment or hotels here and things of that nature. So they'll be able to capitalize on things like.
Exactly, exactly.
Mhm. Now, one of the things that a lot of people ask, especially when it comes to commercial space, is that uh, and I know what I pay in Novi Sad for my office, and you're here in Belgrade. Like, let's talk about the cost differences between Belgrade and their prime areas, and then the Class B areas, as well as Novi Sad. What are we seeing in the difference in that?
Just before we started with office costs, I would add also one important thing about VAT. It's related with exporting services. Actually, they are not taxable in Serbia. So, for example, if you're doing trade for some products and you are importing products in Serbia, you are paying 20% VAT, but then you can reclaim the input VAT. And when you export the services to another country, goods or services, they are actually non-taxable. So there is also space for a very good cost to reduce the costs.
That's a very good point here, and that I even myself just learned something. And well, so yeah, that's good. So we're talking about importing and exporting businesses.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, importing and export business can reduce on the VAT system as well. And if you're getting into that system, you're always looking to reduce your costs. Why pay that extra 10 or 20% if you don't have to? Because 10 or 20% on any type of business is an astronomical amount of increase to the cost of not only your services, but the cost to the your clients essentially out there. So if you can look at reducing that, that's something that is essential too to reducing your burn rate. So let's get into the office costs then in commercial spaces.
Yes. Well, when we are talking about the office costs, we can separate some A class or B class. When we are talking about A class, we are talking about the high quality business space in the New Belgrade area that is very known business area. All the big companies has moved their operations or has the representative offices here in the New Belgrade. Then we're talking about the price between 16.5%, starting from 16.5%, and maybe to the 18.5 euro per square meter. And it's always on monthly basis. Also in Belgrade, you can find some B class of office space or area, and it's usually the prices are between 11 and 14 euro per square meter. But also Novi Sad is very known city in Serbia when we are talking about the corporations and about moving their business to Serbia, especially when we are talking about the office costs, they are even less. And you can find space for the price between 7 and 14 euro per square meter. Maybe even below if it's not center of Novi Sad, if it's some industrial zone or nearby Novi Sad. And we have so many examples of the big corporations that establish their office space or even hubs in somewhere nearby Novi Sad.
Yeah, I think you mentioned Schneider's as one.
Yes,
So
the
Schneider
brand company. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it seems like they move their all their operations in Serbia, and they have the headquarter office in Belgrade, in Class A region, and they opened a hub for electrical engineering in Novi Sad, in some area nearby Novi Sad. So this is very popular and very good
Opportunity.
business opportunities.
Yes. Okay. Well, last week when I was at a energy conference, one of the individuals I spoke to was talking about getting engineers into Serbia here. One of the things that we're seeing is that the engineering payroll benchmark is substantially lower here in Serbia than some of the U.S. or Western European countries. Can we touch on that a little bit?
Well, yes, we can touch now in regard with Schneider. We can also talk about the engineering payroll. It is actually a very good opportunity, not only in regards with payroll, also with the incentives that Serbian government has for that software engineering business if you want to move and open some company here. When we are talking about the salaries, they are around 69 USD dollars. So, and it's really good when you compare it with US or Western European countries. Also, in regards with this, we can explain more with more details about the incentives if you're interested for something like that.
Yes, and then of course there's a lot of R&D tax credits and things of that nature that businesses can get into in specific areas as well, which I believe we are going to touch on in a second moving into this video here. But one of the things that we're also seeing is that remote SaaS companies bringing in their employees here into Serbia can also dramatically reduce the cost of their business operation, or should I say, burn rate. So, besides moving over your manufacturing and all those bigger industries, we're also seeing people that are bringing over their consulting businesses as well here. As a matter of fact, this morning we had a gentleman at your office here that came here, and he's looking to shut down things in Holland and set up here in Belgrade. And what are the reduction in their costs there?
Well, actually, when we are talking about moving the whole operations, means that the company are moving finance operations, supply chain, logistics operations in Serbia. We don't have so many tax incentives related with this area, but we have very good salaries and very educated people that can manage operations from Serbia. For example, different kind of analyst of finance or delivery coordinators. They are very good with high educated people. They speak more than two languages. Serbian and English are must, but they also talk some additional language that can help the companies that are moving the operations here. They have employees that can manage all the European countries or maybe USA countries from Serbia. So means the companies establishing here some hubs related with finance, logistics, or supply chain, and employ people that can manage activities all around the world. So as I mentioned, there is no specific tax incentives related with that area, but they can find high educated people that are speaking more than two languages and with a lower cost than in Europe, they can manage all the operations for one corporation from Serbia.
Mhm. And one of the things I've mentioned before in our videos is Serbia is really geographically located to serve both the East and the West. So you can really have a global reach from a relatively small country. Like Biljana mentioned, and I mentioned before in other videos, Serbian and English is one of the most dominant languages here, but there are many other people that speak three, four, and five languages here. And so that there can really diversify you as a business owner if you're looking to work in multiple markets in multiple countries around the world. So having that team here, as well as reduction in the cost to you as a business owner, as well as having that higher level of employment here, which I mean by they're very hardworking individuals. They're very attention to detail here. So you get a lot of bang for your buck by relocating all your businesses here in Serbia. All right, so we went over a overview of how you can reduce your burn rate here in Serbia. Now, one thing to mention is that your burn rate does not mean your taxes. So what we're talking about is your taxes will be your taxes taxed on your on the earnings that you make, but your burn rate is what you're using to use within your business, your employee costs, your electricity, so on and so forth, payroll, office. Those are the type of things we're talking about. Now, if you're looking to get into specific numbers for your business and are thinking about moving your business over into Serbia, feel free to book in a consultation with us at Relocation Serbia. And of course, like we always do, I ask, are we looking to move to Novi Sad or Belgrade? And if you're looking to move to Belgrade, you'll be working with Biljana. And if you're moving to Novi Sad, you'll be working with myself and our team. So I want to thank you for watching. Thank you, Bilja, for coming today on this video. I'm sure it's first of many that we'll be doing. And that's all we got for today.